Hi everyone, welcome back to Coffee, Books, and Rain, where we actually have a big thing of water with just a little bit of lemon juice in it because I like lemon water. We have some rain going on outside to help make the evening nice and moody, which I love. And we have books. And I have been, for some reason I thought I recorded this particular book review. Went to try to post it, didn't have it recorded. So here we go with recording The Last Emperor by John Scalzi. This is book number 3 of the Interdependency and the third and final installment of the Interdependency series. So this is one of my more favorite, shorter sci-fi space opera series because it is only 3 books. It is the culmination of, I think we have The Collapsing Empire, The Consuming Fire, and then we have The Last Emperor. So, if you haven't listened to or read these other 2 books, I probably wouldn't recommend listening to this one. Unless you want some spoilers with regards to the others. That's up to you. I'm just saying, I'm just putting it out there for you. There you go. So let's dive into the summary first, and then we will go from there. The collapse of the flow, the interstellar pathway between the planets of the interdependency, has accelerated. Entire star systems and billions of people are becoming cut off from the rest of human civilization. The collapse was foretold through scientific prediction, and yet, even as the evidence is obvious and insurmountable, many try to rationalize and delay and profit from these final days of one of the greatest empires. Oh, poor Leo, he's nervous. Of these final days of one of the greatest empires humanity has ever known. Emperor Greyland II has finally wrested control of her empire from those who oppose her and who deny the reality of this collapse. But control is a slippery thing, and even as Greyland strives to save as many people from the impoverished isolation, the forces opposing her rule will make a final, desperate push to topple her throne and power by any means necessary. Greyland and her thinning list of allies must use every tool at their disposal to save themselves and all of humanity, and yet it may not be enough. Will Greyland become the savior of her civilization, or the last emperor to wear the crown? It is considered a science fiction, space opera, space fantasy, and it's only about 320 pages in hardcover, and it was first published April 14th of 2020, so approximately about 5 years ago. I always it is a satisfying end to this trilogy. It's like the ending though, I was like, wait a minute, wait a minute. Because I think I just still wanted more, even though it gets tied up so incredibly well. Cardinia becomes a really great leader, really great emperor in this particular book. Mars is, he's doing really well as being kind of our scientific, wheelhouse of knowledge. But yes, the flow has been collapsing. That's kind of what kicked off this interdependency book series, is Mars and his father started to realize that this flow, these channels that are between these settlements, are starting to collapse and disappear in space. They were not man-made, created. They were there. We used them to be able to get back and forth to one another. So, of course, we are interdependent. When these flows started to collapse, and we are now being cut off and being isolated. You would have to imagine, flight being no longer available to travel to, let's just say, Australia. So you would then have to take a boat. Okay, cool. We're going to take a boat. But just imagine how long that's going to take you if you live in New York. So, yeah, you could still get there by the spaceships, but it's going to take you like millennia to get there instead of like, however long it would take you to get to Australia by boat. This book is really, really well written, lots of action, and probably the strongest book in the series. Now, I think the first one was really good, but it set the stage. The second one, I think it was still kind of figuring out the full direction that the whole series was going to go. This one found that footing, knew where it was going, and just took it to the end. Took it and finally made that big touchdown with it. I think I finished this audiobook in like a day, because even though it was a re-listen, I still, every time I re-listen to it, am so eager to finish it because it is so much going on. It is, I don't know. It is really, really good. Just my personal thoughts, my personal opinion. I wish I could see more things happening for some characters, but we do get a pretty cool thing. Now, the bad guys are still bad. The interdependency is falling apart. Cardinia is trying to do her best to get people to go to places where they can survive, which pretty much End is one of the few places that they can survive. End is the only real planet, and currently the Nohama Peton family, at least I think Grinny, is the only one. He's over on End, and he's trying to be like their duke, but I don't think that's working out so well for him. He's just not doing great. Sorry, had a pause there. So we've got Kiva, who, if you've listened to any of the other episodes, you will know that she is our foul-mouthed space pilot who is actually, she is very intelligent and probably going to be one of the biggest heroes for humanity. There's Mars, who's our physicist, who is really, really smart as well, and we need him to also help humanity. Cardinia, again, she is really finding her footing as the Emperor and as a leader for the people, especially in this particular book. She's been doing great. Like in the first book, she didn't really want it. In the second book, she's finally found her voice. In this book, she's taken up the mantle of being the Emperor and trying to really, take it home and save humanity, be what the people need to get it there. The Nohama Petons, like Nadashe and Nadashe's mom and Grinny, they have literally been trying to take Cardinia out, as frequently as possible. Someone had said 2 assassinations attempts, and I was like, there's gotta be more than 2. I swear there's so many more than 2. I don't know. It was like every other turn there had to be. Just, I know they tried to have a coup and things like that, but you do really need the other 2 books. I do not come into this book without the other 2 books. You will not get it. You will not understand it. But there is a shocking development towards the end of this book. I think I was kind of alluding to it. This person kind of mentions it as well. And personally, and in my personal thoughts, I just didn't see how it was as necessary as the book makes it out to be. Fine, if that's what you think has to happen, then fine. But I just didn't think it was absolutely that necessary. I don't know. But super, super good. I have to say that it's humorous. If you don't like if you like space, but you don't like super technical, this may be a series to try, because even though there is the premise of this particular flow, I don't think understanding it is vital, because I I'm not a physicist. I don't know nor care to become a physicist to understand it. But that's just the point, is that no one really is except for Mars. He seems to understand it, which is great. And it's pretty much like, hey, you know these things that we use to travel? We can't use them anymore. And that's all you need to know. That's it. That's all you need to know. He's like, you know how you were using the highway to get down to the next town? Well, that highway is going to be gone. It's going to be like, you're not going to be able to use that anymore. Now you got to go the long way around. So that's kind of how it is with regards. But anyway. So anyway, there's another person, and I just ran across it. Tatiana Night Owl is what her Goodreads says, and I really liked. She said she wasn't convinced too about this development towards the end, and she said, although a subsequent read of this book did lead me to conclude that it was, if not essential, at least justifiable. And that's where I'm kind of on the fence, because I have listened to this book probably 2, maybe 3 times, and that's why I'm sitting here like, look, I get it, but I just don't know if we really had to. So, I'm not spoiling anything. I'm just saying, I get it, but did we really have to? I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying. I do think it shows in a lot of way how people just won't believe like the truth, even if you shove it in their face. There are always going to be the opportunist who are going to think they can make money even until the last minute. That the ones who think they are going to be able to profit off of tragedy. And I think those are some of those, I don't want to call them satirical points, but those are some of the things that Scalzi is definitely pointing out as broken points in humanity. Because it's a fairly kind of serious message that he is kind of conveying. It's like, hey, look, people are going to not make it. Millions of people are going to suffer. And all you're doing is sitting here charging a premium because you think you can get one over on somebody. I love John Scalzi when it comes to his snark and sass and wit. There are lots of F-bombs as per usual within the series, especially as they rotate around Kiva. So just be aware. Yeah. So just letting you guys know. But with all of that being said, I think I'm going to leave it here. This is a great culmination to this series. It took me a while to realize that I didn't record this episode, and I wanted to go ahead and get it out because I know I had the other 2 episodes already posted, and I think I had mentioned that I was going to try to do the whole series. So here we go. This is the whole series, 1, 2, 3. Now, if you get mad at me when you read this and I didn't tell you the ending, and you're like, hey, I was upset because of something that happened in the end. Well, just be forewarned that shocking development towards the end of the last Emperox, yeah, told you. There it is. I'm trying to be vague, you guys. I'm not trying to spoil anything. I do want you guys to go out and read it if you're interested. But thank you so much for joining me on this journey. I hope you have an awesome rest of your week, weekend, or wherever it is that I'm leaving this episode posted. Have a great one. Thanks. And see you on the next page. Bye.